Welcome, Case, to our investor update this week. I thought it was a good idea to get you on board and in front of the camera just to share with our investors on what you're seeing on the sales market out with investors in there. So how have the recent sales and what you've been seeing out the market? Are you seeing many investors join you?
Yeah, investors are starting to come back into the market. I think the interest rates now have just become the new normal. So there isn't that uncertainty in the market of are they going to continue to keep increasing. I think like buyer sentiment is that it is going to either flatten or there may be some drops. So investors are back in the market. Properties we had open last week, there would have been 4 and 5 groups of investors through those open houses.
Yeah, and I was out on the run with the sales team, and it was good because it was probably from a fortnight ago a few more investors out there. So
each week we continue to see, no, the fear's gone. The uncertainty's definitely gone in the market.
Yeah. So what are you noticing in the market in regards to rental yields and returns on properties? Is there any particular property that you're noticing or suburbs, locations that are getting a better return for investors?
I think you'll always find a better return if it's a family type of property. Strata properties will generally have higher strata fees, and we've seen those increase over the last few months. So something that is a family style of property with good infrastructure around there, close to hospitals, transports, shopping centres and schools, you'll always see a better rental yield on those type of properties. Plus they'll lease much faster. And we know every week a property's vacant, it's 2% of your rental income that's been lost.
Yeah.
So a quick turnover and leasing properties fast is always a big tick for investors.
And good investment. So what trends are you noticing in the market or exit strategies that investors or even owner-occupiers, like what are you seeing right now?
There's some people that are exiting the market, investors exiting, but that's more that they're putting that equity that they have in the investment property back into their principal place of residence. We've also seen that the typical length someone used to hold a property was generally around that 7-year mark. That's significantly dropped over the last couple of years. So there's about, in the last kind of 3 to 4 years, generally people are selling within that time frame, not holding for that longer period of that 7 to 10.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll see a few that are even coming a little bit earlier than that.
I had one last week that they purchased peak of COVID, so within 2 years, and sold.
So Casey, why do you think that happens? Like, look, I'll put it out there. I purchased during COVID, right? So why do you think you've seen that in the market?
It's purely interest rates and affordability, cost of living pressures. So it's the mum and dad investors that are really affected. The multi-property owners that are strategically set won't feel it as much. But also having those early questions with financial planners and brokers about how mortgages are structured is key to be able to holding that asset long term.
Because brokers can assist with that restructure of the finance and take some of that pressure off.
Yeah, interest-only loans are the best way to go for investors. But obviously, here's our disclosure, speak to your financial planner.
Absolutely. Casey, with your stock on market or what you're seeing within our sales department, how do you think the offers and the process is affecting that process with investors versus owner-occupiers?
Investors, it's total numbers game. So when we're getting offers from investors, they're generally the lower end of the guide or the lower end offers that we're receiving on a property. It's a buyer triangle. So investors are always in the bottom of that triangle because it's a numbers game for them. There's no emotional attachment. It's all about return on investment, where someone that's looking to own or occupy the property that's got an emotional attachment will always pay more. So it's that fine line for investors about paying the right price to be able to secure the property.